Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're going to be going over what to buy and what to avoid from the brand new Kortz Heist DLC specifically. Now I'm going to do a regular what to buy and what to avoid this week in Grand Theft Auto Online on Thursday, so you guys can stay tuned for that. That will be coming out, but in this one I thought I should specifically talk about some of the new stuff that was added and whether you should buy it or not. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Leave a like if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new, let's go. Starting off on Legendary Motorsport with a few of the new vehicles. We have the Grotti Cartuccia GT here for $2,395,000 with a missile lock-on jammer available for it. This is probably my favorite car from the new update. I really like the driving experience of it. It is rear-wheel drive, it has a lot of power, and it has really good handling, and it's also super easy to double clutch, as people refer to it as in the community. That's basically where you're going to handbrake spam and you're going to get a lot of power sent to the rear wheels, and the car is basically going to accelerate really fast while also spinning up the tires. It's pretty cool. Customization wise, it has a great amount of stuff that you could do to it. I think it's a fantastic looking car as well, and you can definitely make some pretty cool builds with it. For $2.4 million, I'm pretty shocked at how fast it is and just how good of a vehicle it is overall. Now, if it had HSW, it would be even better, but it does not, so that's okay. It is a really, really good car though, so if it's something that you might be interested in, if you think you'd be interested in it, even though it's at full price right now and everything like that, I think this is a car that is worth picking up, so this is one I would recommend buying from the new DLC. The same thing goes basically for the Benefactor LRC GT. This is based off of a Mercedes CLK GTR, which is a very, very famed racing car and everything like that. It's a super sweet vehicle to drive in GTA Online. It has great handling, great acceleration, and a pretty decent top speed as well. It also has the missile lock-on jammer available for it, and it is $2,650,000 here, as you can see. Customization wise, it's got a lot that you can do to it, which is always nice to see, of course, and it just is a generally very good car. Now, this is a supercar. The last car that we went over is a sports car. Now, I have a feeling as far as the supercar category goes, this is not going to be like a top contender, but it's probably within the top 10 fastest non-HSW supercars in the game when it comes to circuit racing. It is just a very solid vehicle. It's very planted, goes around corners well, and at high speed. The acceleration's good, and it sounds pretty awesome as well. Overall, the LRC GT is another one that I would recommend picking up from the Kortz Heist DLC. Now, moving over to Southern San Andreas Super Autos, we have 3 more vehicles available over here. Now, we do have another vehicle to go over after these 3 as well, but we'll talk about that in just a minute. Starting off with the Benefactor Laufer. This is a Mercedes V-Class, as far as I understand. It is their van that Mercedes makes in real life. This thing I was pleasantly surprised about. Now, first of all, it's only $645,000, which for a new car in GTA Online these days, that is a very, very good price overall, all things considered. And then when you go to actually buy it and customize it, you'll start to realize that this thing actually has a decent amount of stuff that you can do to it. And once it's customized, it is actually really, really cool looking, I think, in my opinion at least. I would also not be completely shocked if this is one of the faster vans in GTA Online, if not maybe even the fastest van class vehicle in the entire game. So if for some reason you're ever going to do van class races, I think this is a very good vehicle to have. Now, it's rear wheel drive, it seats up to 4 players. Like I said, customization is pretty good. It's a very good looking vehicle. The headlights are super detailed. It looks just like a real life Mercedes V-Class. Probably one of the more realistic cars in GTA Online as far as an adaptation of a real life vehicle. I think this thing's pretty awesome. For $645,000, I think if you're interested in it, you can't really go wrong with it. However, this is one you could potentially skip if it's not something that's going to interest you in the first place. And I think for most people, honestly, this is one that you can avoid this week and maybe pick up when it goes on sale eventually, whenever that happens. But if it's something you're interested in, I would recommend buying it. I think it is close to being worth this $645,000 number. Up next, we have the Albany Marula. This is based on the CT5 Blackwing, which is a Cadillac vehicle, and it is pretty fun to drive. It has really good handling. It is in the sedans category. Customization wise, it's got some decent stuff that you could do to it, and it really reminds me of an Albany VSTR, but with a little bit less power, it feels like. However, with better handling and better looks potentially as well, depending on the styling that you prefer over the VSTR or this, whatever that may be. Now, this thing will cost you about $1.4 million. It does not have HSW, by the way, but it does have the missile lock-on jammer as well. Overall, I would say it's a really decent car. I enjoyed driving it pretty thoroughly. I thought it handled extremely well for something that's not only in the sedans category, but is also a four-door sedan that can hold up to 4 players. It is generally a very good car, and I would say that this one I do recommend, especially if you like the CT5 Blackwing in real life. I think you will absolutely like this car in GTA Online for sure. This is one I definitely recommend picking up this week. And next up we have the Ocelot E-Stride for $1,425,000. Now, this car is what a lot of the Waymos in real life are based off of. It's a Jaguar I-Pace in real life, I do believe it is. In-game, it is not one of the no-way taxis or anything like that. But unfortunately, it's not really a car that I'm going to be recommending this week. It's $1.4 million to begin with, which is, you know, not that expensive, but it is a decent amount of money. And compared to the Albany Marula that we just went over, this thing is just a drop in the bucket compared to that car. It is really not that fantastic. Now, it is fully electric, in case you guys didn't put 2 and 2 together there. The interior is pretty nice. The customization is okay on this vehicle, I would say generally. It's faster than I kind of anticipated it to be, but with that said, it's definitely not a fast vehicle overall. I think that due to the electric motors and everything like that, it's going to have a weaker top speed and everything, but it also has a little bit weaker handling. Now, I will say though, as far as an electric vehicle goes in GTA, it does actually handle pretty good. Now, as far as a regular vehicle goes in GTA, I don't think it's that fantastic. It's not remarkable in any way, I would say. But as far as an electric car goes in this game, I think this thing is actually pretty good. Overall, for most players, I would say to avoid the Ocelot E-Stride this week. I just don't really think it's worth it. At this price point, at least in particular, if it goes on a 30% discount or something like that, I could see, you know, maybe picking it up. But until that happens, I would avoid the E-Stride. I just don't think it has enough value for what you're paying for the car to justify the purchase. So I would avoid this one for most players. Now, the next car I'm going to be talking about is the car that you guys could see in the gameplay here. This is the Grotti Velino GT, and it is the new HSW vehicle that came out with this update. Now, it is a GTA Plus car for the time being. However, you can also purchase it from a GTA Plus member, which is how I actually ended up with mine. I purchased it from one of my moderators, shout out Amber, for selling it to me. It is a really, really awesome and super quick supercar with that HSW upgrade applied to it. It is extremely fast. It has great handling as well. Slight bit of understeer. It could have just maybe used a little bit more downforce in some of those high-speed corners, but if you brake, you should be okay most of the time, I would say. But the Velino has some great customization options. I think it's a fantastic looking vehicle to begin with as well, and it's definitely one that I would say to make sure to purchase this week in GTA Online. Now, it's going to cost you $3,090,000 for the initial price of the vehicle, and $1,995,000 for the initial HSW upgrade. And that is not including any additional HSW upgrades like the, you know, Stage 3 Turbo or anything like that. But overall, it is a really quick car. It has a higher top speed than the Vapid FMJ Mark V. We don't exactly know what the top speed is yet, but I do know that the Banshee GTS is faster than the Velino GT. So it is not the fastest car in the game by any means, but it may just be the fastest supercar around circuits. But top speed wise, no matter what, it is definitely the fastest supercar in the entire game. So this is one you guys are probably going to want to pick up, particularly if you have HSW available on your platform. The next thing that I'm sure everybody is wondering about is the Art Studio. Now, a lot of people have asked me about the Art Studio, if I think it's worth it, everything like that. Now, the Art Studio is going to cost you $2.7 million if you have GTA Plus. It'll cost you $3.7 million if you've owned a mansion before this DLC came out, because you're going to get $1 million discount. But if you're going to be buying an art studio and you just bought a mansion very recently after the DLC has released, it will cost you $4.7 million on top of the rest of your mansion purchase price to get that art studio upgrade. Now, the art studio upgrade will enable you to do the Kortz Center Heist, which the first time you do it is going to be really good every week. I was paid about $2 million for completing it solo this week. Now, next week, once the weekly reset happens, I think that the payout will increase again back up to about $2 million. I would think somewhere in that neighborhood at least. But until then, on subsequent runs of the Kortz Center Heist, it is only going to pay you roughly about $400,000 for the primary loot, from what I've heard from my viewers. So not exactly a fantastic investment to make money, because it's going to take you at least 2 weeks, I would say, to pay off the art studio upgrade for your mansion. Now, if you want to do the heist, you will need to own the art studio upgrade no matter what. But if you don't care to do the heist, I would say to probably avoid the art studio unless you have a discount on it that is available to you right now. Like, for example, if you have the $1 million discount on it, or if you have the $2 million discount from GTA Plus, you should probably buy it now just so you have it. Especially at a cheaper initial purchase price, right? But what I will say is the heist is pretty difficult and it does take a while to do it. So just be warned before you purchase the art studio upgrade, it is going to be quite a bit of a challenge to actually get your money back from doing the heist. So just be aware of that. But overall, I would say it is worth it if you have a discount available for it right now, or if you just want to play the heist, you're going to need to buy it anyways, so you might as well buy it. All right, guys, so there you have it. That has been it for what to buy and what to avoid from the Kortz Center Heist DLC in GTA Online. Now, we have some drip feed cars coming out over the next few months, and we're looking forward to those, releasing. That includes like a Pagani Zonda, as well as a couple of other really, really cool vehicles as well. So I'm very excited to cover that for you guys when it all comes out. But that's going to do it for what to buy and what to avoid, specifically from the Kortz Center Heist. Now, like I said at the start of the video, I will have a normal what to buy and what to avoid coming out on Thursday, so stay tuned for that. I will also be going over the weekly update after this video comes out tomorrow, so stay tuned for that as well. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, dislike if you didn't. Consider subscribing if you're new. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care. Peace.